chasing guards back, I heard. Better twist some arms, clean up the riffraff.
Or even guards no upper crust softy. He's in charge of the right?
If radio guards are trained to miss properly, they'd be able to catch him.
These things have stayed interesting. This corpse has been desecrated, displayed, and there's nothing random about it. Dribbles the clown.
Keep a blade close.
Mind never quiet. Need to find a way forward. Oh, don't mind if I do.
Oh, calm down, would ya? It's all in your head.
What's hiding here?
Lovely day for it.
The smell of fresh blood spilled on stone. It reminds me of the tunnels within my home of Kalir.
I would like to visit your home one day, Lizelle. Where is Kalir?
You may know it as Stardock, an asteroid, one of the tears of Selûne. Its tunnels are home to all manner of creatures to hunt. Vicious, unrelenting. The sort of place I imagine you'd take to, Minthara.
Candle Hallow's tombstones.
It's no scales off my back.
You wonder how much? It was half that a 10-day ago.
We've had supply issues. You got a problem. Take it up with 9 fingers.
Let's see what this does.
Never mind the shining squares.
I am more comfortable on streets like this. A peek at the true face behind the mask.
Yet another thing we have in common. We're two peas in a pod.
I said a peek behind the city's mask, Astarion. Not a look up its skirts.
Jahira! What do you think of me?
I look like I was born in a
Afternoon.
wasting my time. And now,
That might be worth a look.
Easy.
take time with she loves it when
Best get going.
it's to shut.
The locked door has red text on it reading, "All are awaited, all are embraced. None shall escape."
Don't waste a step. More for me. What's in here?
Present me well from gifts thine own.
or I shall rend thy flesh from bone. To passions brash, thou art a slave. This sinful ground shall be thy grave.
Ready for battle. Right away.
Can you feel death's cold grip? This will do nicely. Feel their anguish.
Survival is all that matters.
I will ascend. My path be true.
Well, so much for peace.
Swallow your battle cries, fiend, and wash them down with steel!
No bloom, all doom. On my way.
Talk to me.
This room will be thy resting place.
Fresh orders? A bold maneuver.
Bow, or you break.
Nothing important is ever easy.
Weep if you wish. Minsk will not judge.
Death is but a word away.
Can't give up.
Open up.
Indolence breeds madness.
Light on my feet.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Can't give up now.
No more rest for the wicked.
You gaze upon murder's progeny, child.
His most ill-trusted zealots.
His faithful departed.
Prodigal servants, each returns to do his bidding eternally.
This is the court of the Dread Lord's Tribunal. I am its custodian. Here come those who seek to transcend, aspirants of his most profane order, the would-be unholy assassins of Bhaal. But these are not aspirants. You have brought traitors of Bhaal into our midst. Harper Worm, the abdicating hero. Your keen sense for this city has withered in your absence. And you, man of stone, as you stood a statue, a helpless ornament, your city warped, changed, became ripe for the plucking.
Sarevok, Baal's least favorite son. Still tied to Daddy's apron strings, I see.
You disappoint me, child of murder. I expected more of your return.
Sarevok Anchev, a bhaalspawn who failed to become chosen long ago. Spilled stain of father's divine essence left out to dry. And yet, the history he shares with your companion seems to run almost as deep as your own.
What purpose do you have in bringing these heretics to the court of Bhaal? Speak, or death will be your final word.
Do not parley with this madman.
Serevok once had his chance to taste of goodness, but he spat it back out. Now he may taste boot leather instead.
You speak of the past. I speak of the future. Well, aspirant, do the shades of yesterday speak for you too? There are two paths to the Temple of Bhaal. To carve your devotion into flesh, or to be the carcass that is carved upon.
You make promises that aren't yours to keep. Take care that their breaking does not break something more.
If Minsk is certain of one thing, it is that he very much plans on being a problem for Serevok.
I know these two well. I have traveled in their company. Whatever else may be said of them, they answer to no one but themselves. It seems there is some disagreement on who is master here.
Is it to be death, then? A better alternative to watching this sick family reunion.
You have shown us the color of your blood. Boo wonders if we had been wiser to spill it on the ground.
I never thought I'd see this. The Harper and the idiot ranger brought to their knees before me. The violence pleases Bhaal. The domination pleases me. Your slaves may stand, the better to bear witness. You are something truly glorious, child. Are you here to have your vengeance on my granddaughter, Orin? I see why Orin spoke of you with daggered spite. But this is not her dwelling place. Orin resides within our father's temple. She may have usurped you once, but all her rites and rituals will never match her to your natural gift. Bhaal is about to name a new chosen. All is between you and my granddaughter, Orin, now. And Orin has much to learn. Our Lord does not care for beauty. Bhaal cares only for death. Death in numbers. Death in droves. It is a lesson Orin will only learn in death. I wonder if you will be the one to teach her. She seeks to sacrifice you in our father's temple. She dreams that your corpse will be her masterpiece, But she forgets. Before your incident, you were the true master. You were murder. Pure murder. No excesses. No pretensions. I believe you will be the one to slay Orin. And when you do, remember Grandfather Saravak. Remember how he helped you. Return to visit him. And tell the blood-drenched tale of your victory. We have a sacrifice prepared for you, child of murder. Let us celebrate your becoming. Come, child of Bhaal. Offer thanks unto your father for your birth, and in so doing, be reborn anew. Slaughter this celestial being. Spill its blood into the void, and through eradication of its goodness, be exalted. Spare no violence for the Dreadlord's grace, and savor every moment of the creature's slaughter.
No choice but to keep going.
Appendage.
Let's have some courage.
Not but another harvest.
I speak, they burn.
Crafty road.
Behold, Father Bhaal, your lost child, bathed anew. Arise, unholy assassin.
His most unholy will be done.
Take this amulet, child, and return it to your father's chamber. You are the true inheritor of his will, and he would smile to see you wear it. Cleanse the temple of Orin's girlish shrines, and bring your primal slaughter back to Bhaal. There is nothing more I can teach you, but if you bring about her death, return to me, We shall revel in the divine memory together. As family.
Unholy assassin does have a certain ring to it. What's inside? What to do?
Watch your back. Let's crack it open.
Is that blood? No, never mind. Moving in. Anything of use?
We've done what we came to do. And we're all of us sullied for it. Let us make it worth it. Nothing so grand. He was just another broken little bhaalspawn who tried to clamber to glory over the corpses of others. There was a time when he might have made more of himself. He was certainly given the chance after we threw him down. But he slunk back into his father's shadow instead. There is nothing more to say of him. Ask it. I am no expert on the matter, despite all my experience. But if anything I know can help you resist your father, only ask it. Not mad, no. Take Zadavok, for example. For as much carnage as he caused, there was always a cold calculation to it. He craved power, and his bloodline was just another path to achieve it. I saw that same bloodline turn to better ends than Bhaal ever intended for it. It was bhaalspawn who threatened the coast, and bhaalspawn who saved it. It is possible to go on to live a life outside your father's shadow. Bhaal was but the beginning. Be warned. A godspawn draws trouble like iron to lodestone. There will be crusaders who wish to rid the world of your taint, or jealous minds who believe themselves more deserving of the power in your blood. I'm sure Gale has heard the cautionary tale of the mad mage John Irenicus.
Naturally. Irenicus, or the Exile, sought to extract divinity from bhaalspawn blood. Needless to say, he failed in quite catastrophic fashion. Hence the cautionary part of the tale.
But happiness is not beyond a bhaalspawn. It simply comes at a higher cost. Constant vigilance. Then you are wise. I will not mince words. If what you told me is true, you are already further under Bhaal's power than my old friend ever was. But So long as you fear that power, there is hope. Fear means you are not fully mad. Not yet. Bhaal had his minions, certainly, but none that watched over their wards so diligently. I wonder if past experience has taught the great god to fear that another of his children might turn against him. Yes? Your rancid father will try to twist your thoughts, as he did with all his children. The harder you resist, the darker your dreams become. Our camp was often roused by screams in the night back then. We learned to take them as a marker of pride. Even gods can be resisted. A bhaalspawn can sire children, certainly. We have Sarevok and Orin as proof of that. Whether they should? There are things in our nature we might unwittingly pass on, yes. But I do not believe them stronger than the things we choose to pass on. If you are asking whether love and joy are beyond you, just because of the taint in your blood? No. They most certainly are not. I've learned not to unpick the legends so many have woven around our name. Seeing the hope die in a romantic's eyes, it is only funny the first few dozen times. Some call the Harpers heroes. Others, petty meddlers who cannot help but stick their nose into every conflict they stumble across. The truth is in there somewhere. We try to work towards a common balance. If every other faction finds us equally annoying, that is probably a sign that we are succeeding. You might say that. I left their service and swore never to return. Multiple times, if I recall. It is easy to get tired of the intrigue. The high cause is shrouded in secrecy. I thought I might find another way to be of use to the world. And for a time I did. But my comrades would use a rather irritating phrase. A harper never leaves the chorus. She simply goes to spread the song. Meaning that whatever cause I turned my hand to, there I would find them. Harpers, stuffed with their own virtue, but always there, always trying to help. So I returned to the fold, returned to the city. Eventually they hung a title around my neck, High Harper, and I still do not know how to play one. If I wanted to spare Geraldus the same headaches, well, you now know why I needed him to be sure this is the life he wants. But you're staring. Which means the tadpole has finally eaten your brain. Or have I been talking too much? Either way, time to move, no? You speak of a battle more than a century past. Bhaal's minions led us through a maze in the Undercity, older than Baldur's Gate itself. We paid little mind to the path ahead, let alone how we might return, or that we would return at all. Still, the Undercity shifts. We might search down there. Or better yet, find a bhaalist to lead us.
Do you feel it, Boo? The path of virtue beneath my boots once more. Boo and I, we are in your debt, my friend. you. Minsk pretends at nothing, half the way or otherwise. There is more than a little to know, I think. I am huge. Ah, Boo has an inkling that this is not the question you mean to ask. I saw some hints of things when our minds mushed together, but Jahira confirmed it for me. You are of the same blood as our old friend, a bhaalspawn, and as close to Minsk as if they were his own kin. That makes Minsk your uncle. Better not to ask. He has many dozen cousins, and not all are so open-minded about we who walk on our hind legs as he. There is a lesson in this. We are born into a bloodline, yes, but we need not be bound by it. Take Minsk. He does not have a clear memory of the face of his father, but he does remember tugging on the thick, red whiskers that sprang from his chin. A beard for the ages. Boo could have nested there happily through even the harshest of Rashomon winters. Now, look closely at Minsk, and what do you see? Well, yes, but also... Boo is correct. No beard. There are more whiskers on his tiny face than on the mighty chin of Minsk. If Minsk did not inherit the flaming red hair of his mother, or the bushy red beard of his father, why would the spawn of Bhaal inherit his wickedness? I have many more thoughts about beards to share. I did not know you cared to hear them. As you wish, but quietly. It is listening. On this matter, I have held small council with Boo. If the worm is lodged within our skulls, should it not be possible to simply squeeze like so until something pops out? Pay that noise no mind. Boo has not feasted on evil's flesh in some time, and it has set his gut to bubbling. None at all. Though Boo is tiny. Perhaps he could just crawl into our ears and... Ah, you are right, Boo. A ridiculous notion. It would be far too dark to see.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Spawn, you speak to another of your fallen family. It is heartening to see a child once again brimming with promise. All us wretched specters, Bhaal's failures, are watching your rise with great anticipation. In life, I was a Barzigal, kin-killer of the Five. In death, I serve our father still, until the world grows silent. I offer you instruments which will aid in enacting your foul whims. The weakness was my disgrace, but it was an honor to give myself to Bhaal's embrace. There is no shame greater than failing in his service. But even so, each death is a gift. I am no half-blooded drake. Alive, I was a dragon of pure cerulean chrome. But oft the need arose to disguise myself thus. Yes, Father Bhaal mated with a true dragon. Pray one day you have the honor of doing the same. The Five, my order of father's spawn, were among the first to carve the philosophy that Saravok's death began. We led our worship by killing the weakest of our own line, writing kinslaying into the canon. We hunted down his insipid fledglings in droves, until we were all that was left. All but Saravok's own murderer, who murdered me in turn.
Our enemies are everywhere.
What now?
Yes?
Justice, truth, and a virtuous boot.
My faith will guide me.
Work to be done.
Ah, an excellent choice.
Your suffering will be spectacular.
Eager for battle.
I am listening.
Sword at my side and hamster at hand.
Someone there? Trust no one.
Yes? I hope this is important. For your sake.
Let's move.
Whatever it takes.
All the world's my stage, and you're just a player in it.
deaths for Bhaal, hallowed child, or die in his name.
Better not be cursed. I'll take that.
Honored Spawn, have you come to peruse the instrument once more? Bring deaths for Bhaal, hallowed child. Or
I need to rest. The sunset can't come quickly enough.
I'm doing you.
First in my heart.
Even being in the presence of that amulet makes my skin crawl. It's like feeling the eyes of Bhaal himself settling upon us.
With that amulet, the Lord of Murder has claimed you. Let us see what you make of his gift.
Fine lodgings you have found, my friend. Boo is already in negotiations with the guardian spirits of this place. In Baldur's Gate, they are likely to be rat-formed and eager to charge rent. But Boo shall secure safe slumber for all. Now, what do you need of Minsk? Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. Ah, you come in search of stories. It is not yet time to tuck Boo in for the night, but very well. After our adventurings with the bhaalspawn, Boo had had his fill of godly flesh. So, we returned to Baldur's Gate for a time. After all, in every city there is a sweaty underbelly, crying out for a virtuous scrubbing. None better to wield a brush than Minsk and Boo. Perhaps we rubbed some villain's rump a little too raw. This Minsk does not know. One moment we stood in the city slums. The next, ambush! Then Minsk and Boo woke on the wide, with stone dust in sensitive places. Aha! Perhaps this is the reason, Boo. It is not because of the legendary thickness of my skull. The mind of Minsk was occupied with important matters. I was browsing a slum vendor's stall, looking for Boo's favorite nuts. And then, I was stoned. For Minsk, those years passed as quick as a hiccup. It was long ago, then, it is now. I do not like these metal men on the streets, or the villains who hide behind them. But the new world is not so different to the old one. The city still clings to the hill. The sea still stretches on forever. and the stench of evil still makes Boo wish for a tiny peg on his nose. As long as that stench remains, no matter how old or young the world is, Minsk and Boo will not rest. Well, Boo, explain yourself. Clear enough? Boo has a way with words that we lack. All that space in the cheeks, I am thinking.
I hope that amulet proves to be worth it.
You wish to consult me?
Yes?
Jaheira, Boo is trying his best to explain, but I still do not understand your anger.
Do not hide behind your hamster, Ranger. You do not understand because you do not listen. We were the first to discover the cult. And if you had only waited, we might have marshaled our numbers and...
Good does not wait for evil to button up its breeches. When it offers buttocks for the smacking, Minsk and Boo greet cheek with hand.
I would like to see if a lesson has been learned. This mess falls on our heads, Minsk. The city under siege, its people poisoned by the cult. It all might have been avoided if you had just put your feelings aside and listened. You mean the doppelgangers? It is no comfort to me that my face made this fool all the easier to lead. The point remains. You meant well, Minsk. But you exposed the city to harm. You helped the cult spread. And worse, perhaps than any of this, you forced me to leave you behind.
But this is where Minsk falls short of the understanding, Jaheira. What else is a berserker for, if not to charge into danger ahead of his Waclaren?
The Wicklaren, wise women of Rashomon, each bonded to a berserker bodyguard for life. There is no higher title nor deeper bond in all of Rashomon custom.
Wiclaren? Minsk, I am not your witch. You are not my bodyguard. This is not some high lodge of your homeland.
Boo agrees you're a queer kind of witch. But this city is a queer place. And Minsk, you may have noticed, is sometimes strange himself. The titles matter not. Only this. When Minsk does as Minsk does, and charges in to make a mess, Jaheira does as Jaheira does, and finds a way to save us all anyway.
Oh, I fight alongside fools.
You hear that, Boo? We fight alongside a Waclaren again.
I am your friend, Ranger. I am not your witch. There will be no ointments or healing balms.
Not even for Boo?
The Amulet of Bhaal. It's hardly a triumph of fashion, but it does have its uses.
Make sure you are refreshed before we set out again, friend. The road to justice is paved with kicked buttocks. Minsk is an open book with many pretty pictures. Oh, my friend. There is much more to know of Minsk's homeland than he could ever put into words. Boo might fare better, but his home is far stranger again. Well, in many ways, it is the very opposite of this city. The far side of Faerun, with empty plains, white forests, and peaks that pierce the very belly of the sky. But it is like the city too. Here, it is loud with the daily wailing of people. In Rashomon, it is also loud, if you know where to listen. The Telthors, guardian spirits of every root, rock, and tree. Here in the Sleeping Lands they are silent, but in the far north, they know how to speak still. Such a skeptic, my friend. Minsk cannot prove the point to you, for the Telthors of this land lie sleeping. And for this, we had best be glad. In Rashomon, a Telthor is wind and snow and soil. In Baldur's Gate, it would be stink and stain and a far less pleasant type of soil. If my meaning is not clear, just check under your boot. The first time, my Dajema, a warrior's quest of proving. Minsk quickly proved that quests do not always go as the stories say. After wandering a ways and some savings of the Sword Coast, Minsk returned to Rashomon to find a welcome fit for hamsters and heroes. The Iron Lord himself came to bear witness to Boo. Minsk of Rashomon, said he, your Dajema is done. Minsk politely disagreed. Dinah here was dead, and so his Dajema could never be done. Then swear your service to me, Minsk of Rashomon, said he. Serve your land as your lord's chosen champion. Minsk politely disagreed. It was a little awkward, but he had already sworn his service to Boo. Minsk of Rashomon, said he. You insult your Iron Lord. We will settle this matter in the circle of combat. It was only polite for Minsk to agree. After they carried the Iron Lord away, the Council of Witches gave Minsk a pack of provisions and said it would be best if he continued his adventures for a time. Yes, Boo, that was before we were stone. Perhaps we are due a little homecoming when all of this is done, no? As you wish. Boo, do you have much to say on the matter of something else? You will grow to like Jahira's incense in time. Like chewing herbs and soap, yes? Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. We have. Is it not wonderful? There is no need for sweet words between companions such as we. Too often those are the weapons of flatterers and frauds. But she who will beat you about the head with the cold and pointy truth, that is a true Wicklaren. So, duty, camaraderie, help in troubled times. What I call the bond of a Wicklarin, you simply call friendship. I think I understand your meaning. Then Jaheira is my Wicklarin. And so are you. You are my Wicklarin. And Lae'zel is my Wicklarin. And Gale is my Wicklarin. And Shadowheart is my Wicklarin. And Mintara is... a friend of yours, I am sure. My thanks to you, Wicklarin. You have given me much to think on. And should some enemy knock it loose again, Boo shall remind me. What is it, my friend? Minsk is an open book, with many... You hear that, Boo? Your keen skills of observation have not gone unnoticed. Our friend wishes to consult your wisdom. Minsk and Boo are of one mind and one heart. And Boo is the wiser. So small is Boo that he is often mistaken for a pinecone, and many secrets are spoken in his hearing. He will tell what he knows. But Minsk, of course, will translate. You will grow to like Jaheira's insight. Minsk is an open book. Boo is ready with the musings.
Is there something you want to talk about, my dear? Can we? I suppose we can. How could I say